Arrived yesterday. It was quite a long journey. We left home at 4 a.m. Got here 3 o'clock French time, so 2 o'clock English time. So yeah, 10 hours without a stop. You know, we didn't stop other than to put fuel in the van. I say we, it's myself, James the hauler, and his dad Darren. So basically we've got the whole side of this lake, and wind's coming down in my direction. We actually booked swims at 9, 10 and 11, and the swim mate's off to my right. We thought the fairest way to draw swims would just be write the numbers down and draw out the hat, which is what we did, although I did draw number 10, but then without boring you with a long story, Darren and I have changed anyway, so he's in 10 with James in 11 and me in 8, in 9 even. As you look at the lake, so I'm fishing, this is my swim. If you look up there you can just see James's massive French bivvy, his new one. Looks like a house with James doing something to it as we speak. And then next to that is Darren's bivvy as well. And yeah, I'm here. This is me. And swim 8 is down there somewhere. Hopefully, I think there's meant to be a French guy coming, but he's got a choice to come in there or go on the other side. Hopefully he'll choose the other side because yeah, I don't really want someone down to my right. I might decide I want to fish down there, although it is very shallow. Yeah, so that's where we are. As I say, it's Sunday morning now. If you wonder why I look behind when I get bleeps, that's where my remote is. It's always behind me. So it's Sunday morning now. Yeah, so Sunday morning, no, let's stop this. Okay, so I'm back now after that interruption. Yeah, that's just got cut off on that bar. I'm going to have a rethink about that rod because that's the second fish I've lost on there. As I say, you go over a bar and you go quite a bit beyond it, and it's yeah, the water gets quite deep, but even winding in I got caught on the bar once, managed to free it up, so I'll have a rethink on that. But anyway, scores on the doors, I was just saying last night, so I had my obligatory tench very quickly. We hadn't been here long, I think the rods had been out, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, had a tench. Whilst I was bringing that in, I could see James had waded out and in his dad's swim, and he was landing a fish for Darren, which is a 39 or just under 40, I don't know the exact weight, 39 something, mirror, nice start. And then in the night James has had 2 grass carp, again I don't know how heavy they are, and a 42 common, I think they said it was. Yeah, I briefly spoke to Darren this morning when I went up there. So yeah, James is hauling, but we're all off the mark. Oh yeah, no, I missed my one. Yeah, I had a pasty this morning, just under £18. Mate, I hope my week doesn't just get slaughtered with those. It's yeah, I can catch 18-pounders. Well, I can catch doubles anyway at Braxted, so hopefully the bigger fish come on. Yeah, that's me for now. I'm going to turn this off, re-tackle up the rod that's just got cut off on the bar rather annoyingly, and yeah, update you as the week goes on. Okay, we're going to do a quick cook on the bank today, teach Darren how to cook a meal that's not out of a tin. 15 minutes, a nice chicken pad thai even. Health and safety, I have washed my hands, but with COVID we need to just double check, get our hands all nice and clean. And the other thing is, you know, I don't want no hair in the cooking, so I've got cover me hair. Right, my sous chef has prepared everything. It's all chopped, diced, ready to go. I wished, but yeah, I prepared it earlier because you don't want to watch me chopping onions. If you can't chop an onion, you probably won't be cooking this. Okay, splash of oil. Want that heat up quite high. Chicken straight into your hot oil. Chili powder. Just brown off that meat. Okay, chicken's brown, so got 6 garlic cloves, 4 green chilies, all prepared previously, 1.5 onions. Turn that up a bit more, so we turned it off because the cameraman went to catch a fish. Just give that 3 minutes. You don't want the onions to get too soft. Okay, so once you've done that, get your noodles. If you haven't used these before, these are the boys to go for. Only £1 a packet, nice and soft, already done. Just tip them in. We've probably got too much for 3 of us, but I'm sure Darren will eat at least a whole packet on his own. And on top of them, got a mix I made at home. 6 tablespoons of soy sauce, 6 tablespoons hoisin sauce, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Stir all that up. Jesus, that's soft. So once your omelette's done, just break it up. Basically we're just going to stir it in a bit like an egg fried rice, but there's no rice, it's your pad thai. Okay, so I've got a mountain here for 3. I'm sure it'll get eaten. Don't look so much when it's on the plate actually. Some sweet chilli sauce. The spring onions. Some ground peanuts. A little bit of coriander. There you go. Oh, here we are. It's Monday morning. God, I nearly did it again. Monday morning. Yeah, fishing's been good. Fishing's been yeah, quite kind to us. I've had 4 fish now. I've had what have I had? Just under £18, just under £20, £41.10, and £53.12. James has had 3 grass carp. We haven't photographed them. If anyone's ever seen what grass carp are like when they're netted, they're beasts. They try to get out the net, they don't want to be out the water. And both James and I have had £50 grass carp before, so we haven't photographed any of his grasses. But he's had 3, they've all been over £30. So yeah, he's also had a £41, a £36 and a £31. So yeah, he's all in on 6 fish. And Darren's had 3 fish, 39, 26 and 32. So yeah, a good start to our week. It's the weather's changed. It's got quite warm today, and the wind dropped last night, and none of us had anything last night, so all those fish were before we had our I say before we had our dinner. Darren had a run whilst I was cooking last night, so yeah, that was his, I think that was his 26 pounder that was. But yeah, so it's all very quiet, and we'll see what happens today. I'm going to do a walk around the swims today as well, just like we did for bows, just say where we're fishing, what we're doing. And Darren went up with a GoPro this morning, so he's put that up. He's taken some shots of the whole lake, and certainly came in my swim because I was putting the bait boat out when he was hovering over the top of me. So hopefully that's some good footage, and we'll put that on just so everyone can see the whole lake. This was runs times for me yesterday. My left hand rod, I had 3 fish in 3 hours on that rod, so the rods are out, and I'm going to leave them out for till about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Then I'm going to wind them in, and I'm going to go not really stalking, because genuine stalking is you see the fish and gently lower a bait on them. I'm going to wade all along the margin on my right hand side. It's only 1.5 foot deep there, but in the night you can hear fish are down there, and yeah, no one's fishing it. Fortunately, whoever was meant to go on a swim to my right hasn't turned up, so yeah, I shall abuse the space and have a wander down there with a float rod. So let's show you my swim and where I'm fishing and everything. It's a bit messy here with the baits and all that, because I've just put the rods back out a while ago after a shower. But basically, yeah, this is swim 9 on the lake. My left hand rod that's produced 3 of my 4 fish is heading out towards the willow on the far side, and it's 77 metres out. It's 3'9" of water, and that's the main rod. Middle rod's 66 metres out, heading towards that swim over there, and again you're on 3'9" there, pretty flat, pretty clear. Yeah, I've had bleeps on there but no takes. And my right hand rod, I just keep moving it around because, as I've said, really I want to fish where that duck is out there now. Just beyond there it goes down to 4'4", but you go over a 1 foot gravel bar where it's only 1'9" deep, and yeah, I've got caught on that gravel bar winding in. I've got cut off on that gravel bar when I've had a run, and I did manage to get one fish in from over there, which was my first fish on the first night. So I just keep moving this rod around. Don't put too much bait on it because I don't want loads of bait scattered everywhere, and we'll see what happens with that. So as I said, this afternoon what I intend to do is walk all along that margin and keep going along there with the float rod. Basically I shall slowly walk out in the waders, catapult out a bit of corn, probably only 2 or 3 metres in front of myself, little flicker float in there with a piece of corn, see what happens. Hopefully we can nick a fish out of there. I'm interested to see where that duck's going down in that gully now, because that's where you hear them. When I hear them at night you never see the fish, and I think they're down there, so I will investigate what's down there. Okay, so that's my swim. We'll go up and see what Darren and James are doing. Okay, so this is swim 10. Here's Darren cleaning his boat because he's just put his rods back out again. Tidier swim than mine. There's Dale on 3 fish.
Right.
Dale.
Right.
So where are we having our fish then? What are we doing?
Well, you can see the 3 swims in the foreground.
Yeah.
Basically I was on one towards the willow, basically bait on each one of them swims, but obviously since Mark's been catching some more in mid-water, I've moved them over now. So middle one, right hand one, and one on that far tree to the right in the corner of the bay.
Yeah. How far out? Depth?
About 50 metres, 60 metres, depths ranging from 4.2 to 4.5. So, yeah.
Feet is that? Meters?
Yeah, feet that is.
4.5.
4.2, 4.5. Feet.
4'2".
4, yeah. 4.2. Yeah.
Okay.
Same difference.
Good stuff. There you go. So this is Darren. 3 fish Darren. Let's go and see James if he's there. Yep, he's sat in his bivvy. Right, James. How's it going?
Bad.
Same as Bo's. Let's have a look at your swim, boy. James hauling 6 fish.
You're not doing too bad though.
I'm doing alright this week so far.
So I've got sort of 2 out towards, there's a small willow tree by the edge of the water. And that's done most of my bites really, but I've also got another one by the guy's van. You can just about see, there's like 3 windows, that's where I aim for. About 4'9" of water. And yeah, I just keep getting the bait out there. I'm baiting up down the down wall as well. Just I'll put a rod on there later in the week or if they start showing. But yeah, that's the spots really.
Yeah. Do you know the irony of it is everybody's aiming for that willow.
Yeah.
Although we're in different swims, everyone aiming for that willow.
It's just an easy point. But yeah, it does drop off to 5'6" back there, but it's really silty in the 5'6", so I've come a little bit short of it.
Got ya. Good stuff. Hope you have some more fish.
Hopefully.
Cheers, James.
Thanks, mate.
Right, here we are, Tuesday morning. Yeah, quite an eventful 24 hours has gone by. Darren had a 49 last night. James had a 46 grassy last night, which we did photograph because it was behaving, and that's, you know, even though we've had 50s, that is a good fish at 46, so we photographed that one. He's also had a 33 pounder and a 39 pounder. I had a 32 pound mirror this morning. just over, but yeah, 32's good enough. What else happened yesterday? As I said, I went down to that end down to my right, where it looks like there's some snags and bits down there and everything, and I was just going to float fish. If you remember, I said I'll float fish, corn, feed it out. Yeah, we've seen small koi poo on the lake whilst we've been fishing, so we knew there's koi poo in here, and there was a good chance there'd be koi poo down there. Yeah, they're not my favourite animal, I've got to be honest. They remind me of a big rat, and as I've said before on vlogs, I don't like rats, so yeah, not the ideal thing. Allegedly they're vegetarian, so I'm not convinced, but allegedly they are. But anyway, so I went creeping down there yesterday, and my aim was to go along this near margin to me and then start fishing once I'd got down there. But even walking down the near margin, and I think I'm going as slow as I can in my waders, as stealthily as I can, there'd be big plumes of silt as this fish has been spooked off. So I started casting a bit earlier than I thought I would. So basically I walked to where the old riverbed is, basically, and yeah, that nearly went over my waders. It's silt up, you couldn't fish in it, it's silt over my knees, but yeah, it's almost up to my waders. So yeah, I'm not the tallest of people, that's probably only, I don't know, 4.5 foot deep maybe. Yeah, probably maybe a bit deeper, 4 foot 8 maybe at a push, but yeah. So once I'd got out of the riverbed, and then I was up to my sort of belly button, stomach, tummy, whatever you want to call it, I was float fishing, and there were a lot of koi poo down there, and they were swimming past, probably within 2 metres of me, which yeah, that's close enough. You know, they weren't the big ones, but that was close enough, 2 metres of me. But whilst fishing, I was looking down where the riverbed goes, and there was some big koi poo getting in and out of the water down there, probably 4 foot, you know, not a lot smaller than me. I'm only 5, 6, 5, 7. Oh yeah, they're probably 4 foot long when they're in the water. And I was keeping one eye on them, one eye on my float, to be honest, and one got in the water, a huge one, heading up towards me, but a long way away. I could see the bubbles under the water, and I saw his head come back out when he came up for another breath. And then he went under the water, and yeah, there was no bubbles coming up, no plumes of mud or anything. So I guessed he'd gone to the side and got out. Looked back at my float, just as I did, he came up literally 6 inches from my backside. I don't know who jumped the highest, me or him. He shot off. Yeah, it didn't stop me fishing, but I decided to move along from the riverbed entrance. I stayed down there for a couple of hours, spooked a few more fish out of there. Never actually caught any. Caught roach, had roach taking the corn, but yeah, never caught anything else whilst I was down there. So made my way back and set up for the night. Anyway, that's us for the last 24 hours. I'm actually going to go and give Darren a tutorial on using iMovie and putting these things into iMovie, cutting them, splitting them, merging things. He's yeah, he wants to do some movie making. I think he's converted his van to like a caravan sort of thing. He's not a caravaner, but he's going that way. So yeah, he's going to make a vlog on whatever these people do when they convert their vans. So I'm going to teach him today for an hour or so how to use iMovies and the editing app and everything. So yeah, we'll keep fishing. Hopefully we'll have some more, and I'll update you again tomorrow with some more fish, hopefully. It's Wednesday evening. Yeah, nothing happened in the night. During the day yesterday, James had 3. Had a 19-pound common, 28-pound grassy, and it was literally just after we'd finished eating dinner. Had a 32-pound 6-ounce mirror. I was going to say I didn't have anything yesterday. I did, because in the afternoon I went back down the bottom again with the float rod, risked the Raff of the Koipus, and took a gentle walk down there. Started casting a bit earlier than I had done the previous day. First cast, I had a small common, geez, about £6. And then I walked a bit further, cast further along, was feeding the corn in, and the float went under, and I struck. And to be honest, I thought I'd hit a snag because everything just went solid, and then the fish turned and went off. And if I'd lost that fish, I would have said I hooked a really big fish. But you know, on a 1 3/4 pound test curve tench rod and £10 line on a little Shimano reel, it took a long while to get in. Great battle, and a beautiful £20 common. So slipped that one back and came back up. Like I say, got set up for the evening, but nothing happened. This morning I redid the left hand rod, and I had a, what did I have, a 38 pound 6-ounce mirror, no, common, and literally an hour later the same rod again, a 2712 common. But we've got 2.5 days to go. We'll keep updating this vlog, and hopefully we can winkle a few more fish out and some of the bigger ones. And yeah, I'll speak to you tomorrow, unless none of us have had any fish, and then we'll skip a day and catch up with you Friday. But hopefully we have had fish, and yeah, I'll be talking to you then. Okay, so it's Friday morning. Yeah, it's been some very good fishing for James as usual, but Darren had a really good day yesterday, and I've managed 3 fish since yesterday, so yeah, I'm happy. Mine were at a 37.5, I think it was, and that's a spot where I waded down to the far end. When I was fishing with the stalking rod yesterday, or the day before, losing track of the days. Anyway, whilst I was walking along, and it's pretty 2.5 foot, I guess, down there. You're walking. Every now and again you'd come across a harder bit, and I'd note that spot, thinking, oh, you could probably fish off there. And I was walking, 2.5 foot, and suddenly I was an inch from going under my wader, so probably 4 foot. Great big hole, solid bottom. Made a note of that, and yeah, I walked a rig down there just before dark. I dropped it to the lake bed, baited up with a few handfuls of bait, and 10:30 that one was off. That was yeah, that was definitely 37.5. That one was. This morning I had a 39.10, and the early hours yesterday morning I had a I think that was a 39 something as well. 30, I can't remember what it was. 39 something. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the fishing. I've got a whole list to look at now, because James has just had ridiculous fish since I last did an update. I'll just read out his list basically. So Thursday he had a 27.11, a £50 one, a £35 grassy, £37 mirror, £21 mirror, and today he's already had a 29 common and a 29 mirror. That was James, and I think Darren had about 6 fish yesterday as well. So Darren, yeah, he had a 27 mirror, 46 grassy, 32 mirror, 23 mirror, 28 grass carp, and 26 mirror. So yeah, we've all, well, myself and Darren, I think we're both on 11 fish. I think James is on 22 or something, double what we've caught. But yeah, we've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed our fishing, and yeah, could we have fished it any better? I don't know if we could, to be honest. You know, we've got another, I think we've got about 20 hours left till we've got to be off. We're off early tomorrow morning. We've obviously got a 6-hour drive up to Calais. don't know what else to say really on this. Oh, I did do the night cam. I remember I was saying about the noises, and I was going to try and do the night cam, because I spoke to the owner and he said there aren't any koipu on here. He said it's river rats and beavers. So he's right about the river rats, and they're huge. They are really huge. That's what's swimming past your lines at night and giving you indications, or bite indications, making the buzzers go so you don't get much sleep. James and Darren don't have a lot of noise up in their swim at night, but mine is just constant. All the reeds are crashing and everything. So put the camera out last night, and yeah, it is beavers. They're huge. I'll put a little bit of the, obviously it's black and white because it's an infrared camera, picks them up moving, but I will put a little bit of the footage up with this vlog. Ignore the time in the bottom right hand corner. For some reason the setting was wrong on the clock on that, and I think it says it's about 10 o'clock in the morning when really it's about 4 o'clock in the morning when it happened. That said, I will try and do some more footage tonight. Now I know where they're coming up and everything. They're eating acorns, amazingly. There's one bit of footage. The beaver comes right up to the camera, looks at the camera, sits down and starts eating a acorn. So that's what all the noise has been, and that's what I thought was the big koipu down there that came up right beside me. I mean, that said, I don't want to be bitten by a beaver either. I think they're a bit vicious, so yeah, I wouldn't want that to happen either. So plans for today, I've moved obviously the rod that I've had a couple on down the bottom now, I've got down there, and I've moved one of my rods, just trying to intercept them, how they get down that end and or get out. So basically I've moved one rod, a rod that's not producing any fish. Yeah, and that's about it really. So obviously I'll get photos off the lads and everything, and we'll get those added to this vlog, and I think that's everything really. So I'll catch up with you. It'll be early tomorrow to wrap this one up, but yeah, a really early vlog tomorrow, and hopefully we've had a few more fish, although maybe we're getting greedy, but you can never have too many fish, can you? So that's the plan. Speak to you tomorrow morning. Okay, so it's Saturday morning. We're slowly packing up. I think all of us, we've only got our rods out now, and probably going to be away in the next half hour, 45 minutes. What can you say about the last day? Phenomenal up the other end. James and Darren, 8 fish each yesterday. Darren's biggest 2 of the 8, I think he had 2 42 mirrors. Oh, he had another 46 grassy as well. And whilst he had that 46 grassy in the net, James also had a 46 grassy next to him. James had 8 fish as well, so I think scores on the doors. James has ended up with an incredible 30 fish. Darren's 17, and yeah, I'm 15. But I don't think I could have done any more than I did do down this end. Excuse me. Yeah, it's fishing, I guess. I'd normally be over the moon with 15 fish, but you do question when you're getting the floor white with you. But anyway, it's meant to be fun. It's not a competition. What can we say about this fishery? This is the 3rd time we've been to one of Gwillim's waters, and they're all down this region. And every time we say, "Oh, can't do that long journey again," and we're saying it after this trip, but we may do. What I can say about the 3 bottles we fished of his, I mean, he is a fish farmer as well. The stamp of fish are really good, always really good condition, good quantities of fish in there. If you angle well, you'll catch fish basically. I mean, an example is in the week we've been here on the other side. Throughout the week there's various, because French people turn up and they do 2 days here, 3 days there, but we've hardly seen a fish on the other side come out. I mean, the first swim opposite James, there's been 2 different people in there for the whole period who haven't caught. So you know, and the fish are definitely out in front of James, but whether they're tactically doing things different, maybe that's some of it. I mean, I don't normally talk tactics, but Darren's always saying you should do a tactical bit. I'm sure there's people far more qualified than me to do tactical. But just on the rigs, I mean, I think all my fish on a KD rig. I've spoken about the KD rigs before on my monthly blogs. It's just ultimate nailing fish. You don't often have a hook pull when you use a KD rig. James has been using a spinner rig with a wafter on it instead of it popped up. Some people are calling that the German rig, call it what you want, but it's a spinner rig with a wafter on, so it's sitting on the bottom with the bait wafting. And Darren, I think, was doing the same. He started off on pop-ups for 2 days and wasn't catching, changed to wafters, started catching. So that's one thing that we did here and worked for us. And the other thing is the baiting situation. I mean, you spend a lot of money to come out of France, a lot of money on fuel, tolls. I mean, tolls are 65 euros each way, so roughly £125 here and back in tolls, a couple £100 in fuel. You spent a couple £100 each to come and fish here. You've had your week off work, and then people turn up without a lot of bait or without enough bait, excuse me again. I mean, me personally, I know Darren and James have used a lot more bait than I have. I've used 15 kilos of boilie, 10 kilos of pellet, 6 tubs of hemp, which is probably another 10-12 kilos, 10 kilos of another particle, a tub of glug. There's other stuff as well. We had a quick sit down and I've probably used £220 worth of bait, so it's definitely not cheap coming out here. But the thing is, if you come out all this way out here and you haven't got that quantity of bait with you and the fish start feeding, you're not going to catch many fish. Whereas if they're not feeding, you can always take it home. It doesn't go off, you just keep using it. Oh yeah, 10 kilos of sweet corn, that was the other bit I had in there. So yeah, if you're coming to France, especially a lot of people, oh, it's the first time, what should I do? And they rock up with 10 kilos of boilies. Take as much bait as you can afford to take, really. As I say, you can always take it back home again. Last thing, overview on the venue. So pros and cons. Yeah, definitely positive is good head of fish in here, good condition fish. Gwillim, as I say, we fished 2 of his other fisheries. He leaves you alone to get on with your fishing. He's not always coming around daily checking what you're doing, which is nice. His rules are pretty relaxed. You know, I can't think of any rule that. Yeah, there's no rules that would affect us that he has. Negatives for it. There's a road right next to the lake. Now, if any footage you do find on the internet, which isn't much, you never see that road. It's cleverly filmed so you don't know that road's there. That said, it's only a small negative because the road isn't busy. It's a quiet road, yeah. So, having been here, that wouldn't stop us coming back. What's another negative? At the moment, the shower block's a bit basic, but Gwilym's in the process of doing it all up. Where you charge your batteries and things, it's just an open area where anyone could walk off the street and come and get your stuff. Now, I wanted to charge my MacBook, but I was prepared to leave it over there because I do the vlog as we go along. I put some of it on there so as to save me a bit of time when we get home. But yeah, so charging area is not good, and obviously the journey down here, it's a long day, and might be alright for the youngsters, but we're all getting older, and it's yeah, you get up at 3:30 in the morning and you get down here, as I said earlier, you get down here 2 o'clock if you've had a good journey. So it's a long day, and it takes you a couple of days, especially if you catch some fish that first night. It takes you a couple of days to catch up. So yeah, that's us. We've had a good time. We'll be going home shortly. Yeah, it's been a good week, and not due out to France till next April now, so I will do a French vlog again on that one. That's Jontry 7. That is a bit of a runs water, but it's a good way to start your year or open up your year, so we'll be there. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, as I always say, please subscribe and you'll get notifications when my monthly vlog goes on. And yeah, stay safe and see you in the future.